different reasons why it happened to me people haven't seen. You know, see in the street, I got attacked
by a bear.
Yeah.
By a bear roaming through Liverpool.
Someone was running past and it just hit into me.
Jamal,
Cat attacked.
should we just talk about the cat attack instead of the fight that actually happened then?
Just opened a cupboard and the cat jumped out and this happened.
So, guys, Liam actually did have a fight. He defended the belt. A cat didn't attack him in the cage there. Defended the belt in front of a packed BEC arena here in Manchester.
And they weren't packed with cats, it was packed with people.
Yeah. You fought a person, you fought a human being. Roberto Hernandez, you're his stepdad.
Yeah, I was announced as his stepdaddy, wasn't I? I was a bit of banter that. I was like the last, I walked to the cage and they were like, right, that's the last bit of banter now, get serious now. And I was like, okay. It was a good bit of fun, the back and forth we had. I enjoyed that. I don't usually get involved with that, so that was a good laugh. I like that.
Where did that idea come from, and do you think that played a factor?
Mum joke came from the fact that he'd been on a reality TV show called A Mama's Boy, and he was one of the people in it who was a mama's boy, and I was like, no way is this guy, like, because he started saying things about me being small, and I was like, this is just, I've got so much ammunition here, so I just played off that, and it was just like, he started posting stuff back every day, and then I was like doing weights and stuff, saying how heavy his mum was, and it was just funny. It made fight camp a bit more not as hard on the mind, I guess, making a little bit of a joke here and there. But I think at one point, my coach went away to Vegas and came back, and he was like, right, stop doing as many posts now, start training properly. I don't want you to spend all your time like posting and stuff like that. So I laid off it for a couple of weeks, focused, nailed down on my training. Started adding like sprints into my training with Luke and Nathan and that. I did a few different things this camp that I'm probably going to keep. And then last week I started doing a couple more because it was like coming towards the fight. And I was like, I'm going to do a couple more for the fight now.
Well, promos sell. Like clearly Paddy has shown that in Next Gen. Molly has shown that in Next Gen.
Yeah.
Adam Cullen is very outspoken as well.
Yes.
You've not been like that until this fight, so you've got that experience now. If someone gives it to you when you get to the UFC this year, I'm going to say it, you're going to be in the UFC this year. Yeah. If someone gives it, they're going to know, oh, this guy's got receipts. This guy's coming with receipts.
Yeah. I guess like the jokes that I make are like it's who I am. Like I wasn't like pretending to, like, do you know what I mean? Like I found that funny is what I'm trying to say. Like that is my sense of humor. But my initial gym that I started at was. He always trained me at a team. He always trained me to be respectful. I think I've kept that through the years, and when I've joined the Next Generation, I kept that sort of mindset of being respectful. But I think deep down, if someone is like that, and like I can have that back and forth, it is funny. It wouldn't be something that I'm doing every time, but like you say, if someone's going to do it with me, then I'm going to do it back, aren't I? It's just. It is part of the game, isn't it? It's funny.
It was a beautiful rear naked that you got at the end of the fight, 5th round. You attempted it a couple of times throughout the fight. Did you think heading into that 5th round, bloody hell, this guy's a pure survivalist. How am I going to get him out of here?
You know, I there was times in the fight where I hurt him and I didn't realise, which I think it's happened before that. And I'm going to keep a bit of a note on that on my head because my corner team can spot it, but sometimes I think I need to step a little back and assess how people are taking the shots that I'm giving them rather than just throwing them in. Like, I think I hurt his ankle after the first, but I didn't know. I think it was in the first round. I didn't know till they told me. And then I think we knew we hurt his leg, and then after like the second we knew it was his ankle. Well, we guessed it was anyway. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not sure though. I'm not spoke to him, but I think it was his ankle. And then after the 4th, I think it was, he was struggling to get up, and I hadn't even looked. And then when they told me and showed me, I was like, oh, he's ready to get finished now. I just need to put it on him. So I kind of thought the finish might happen in the 5th, but I was looking for a certain shot that was going to land, so I was waiting, and I was like trying to look for the right shot to throw that I think would hurt him, and then put him away. But what happened was I think I low kicked him, he fell, and when I went to his guard, I headbutted him by accident, we clashed heads, and I was bleeding. I was like, yes. So now I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't want them stopping me, because I didn't know how deep the cut was. So then I started going, I'm going to have to put him away now, I don't want them stopping the fight now. They might not stop the fight, but I didn't know how big the cut was. So that's sort of like, I put the pedal to the metal, is that what they say? Pedal to the metal, yeah. And then put one hook in, he blocked the other one, hit him in the head. He had to block, put the other hook in, and then one of my coaches, Adam Ventry, he had already said, going into the 5th, he was like, if you put a choke on him, he will tap. And that's what happened, so there we are.
You're so active on the ground with strikes as well. Those elbows were absolutely disgusting to watch in the best way possible, though. Is that something that you pride yourself on? You're not wasting any motions on the ground and you're looking to inflict as much?
Yeah, so this is funny, actually. So I fought Rory Evans, and in that fight, I went to ground and pound him, and on watching the fight back, I was really disappointed in myself. As the shots that I thrown, the arc on them, and how they were connecting were just awful. And like, Rory was someone who was good at ground and pound, so when I was watching him, I was watching how he's doing it. So I took myself away for a couple of weeks, and I just practiced ground and pound, and in my sparring I was just practicing ground and pound and looking at like different fighters who were good at it. When it come to Reese, I really started connecting on the ground and pound there and cut him open. I think I cut Jan open, then I cut Reese open. I was very confident then if I'm on top of someone, I will cut them open and I will do damage from ground and pound. But I think it took me realising that I wasn't that good at it to then come back, practice it, and then bring it back into the cage.
It's so entertaining to watch, man. And obviously the bantamweight division in the UFC is seriously stacked. And we want to see you in there mixing it up with the best. Is there anyone in that division, top 10, where you're looking at that would be an amazing matchup for you?
Not top 10. I wouldn't. Right now, I think I need to go in and fight some of the ranked guys and build myself up. I think right now, the level that I'm at, if I fought a top 10, I think it'd be a disgusting fight. It'd be a hard fight, though. But where I'm at now, I think go in, beat a few guys, develop more, and then we'll start thinking about that. I think that's a bit of a jump right now. I like to take it fight by fight. I'm not over on my head where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to beat number one bantamweight in the world in the UFC. No. I'm very aware of my level, and I know that I'm still progressing as a fighter. I'm 27. I think you come into your prime somewhere like 30, 31. I think I've got a couple of years to sort of come into my prime, get better, fight some more guys, develop, watch more fights, and build my IQ a bit more.
Okay, a bit of a twist on the question then, just in terms of where you see yourself in 3 years' time. Who are the fighters currently on the roster where you're like, I would love to test myself against?
I don't know, actually.
We
classified. I'm not sure really, because by then there might be some different guys in there. I'm not sure really. If I have to say, I'm gonna say classified on that answer. Maybe it might change in a year or so, you know.
But yeah, apparently the UFC's coming to Manchester in July. It's got to be you on it. It's got to be you on this card.
I'd take that 100%. I want that, and I'm sure my coaches would put me up for that as well. I think I'm there, but we'll see. Hopefully.
I mean, we've seen Paddy, we've seen Molly. We've got to be seeing you, Luke Riley, Adam Cullen at some point, 100%. Do you envision that as well? And we've left out Nathan and Shem as well. I see Shem heading in the UFC at some point in the future as well after Octagon.
Yeah, Shem for sure. I didn't think of that. Because I know Cage Warriors, the guys funnel up to the UFC, don't they? I'm not sure how Octagon operates with that.
No, it's not. They're not like a feeder.
It's not a feeder show, no. So I'm not sure if Shem will end up like having his fight on his contract and then going UFC or something like that. Honestly, I'm not even thought about that, but he's really good, Shem. Like, he's really good. You know, you see him sparring on the mats with any of those guys. So, in my head, I've got it. Right now, I think Luke's, I know he's going to put on a good performance. You know, I can see him going to UFC this year. I can see Nathan going to UFC this year. Cullen, he's just lost on the split, Annie, so I'm going to go see him in a sec. But I can still see Cullen in the future going to UFC, you know. So there's a lot of guys. You know, Ben was supposed to fight on this card. Yeah. Ben Petras-Kelly, he's a good lad. He's not had that many fights yet, but you see him on the mats, he's amazing. So, you know, there's a lot of guys. You know, Fran fought, he's still 23. You know, so, you know, in a few years' time there, I look at the man, I look at the people. Connor, you know what I mean? It's like
the gym's so stacked.
You really don't know, but I can see a lot of us making it and being successful just because I train with them and I know what they're like and I know how good they are. You know.
Next gen UK card in the UFC at some point.
That would be amazing. Imagine that. that should happen.
Yeah,
I've got enough fighters.
I can see it where there'd be like 4 or 5 of you either on the. Yeah, maybe on the main card, to be honest. 100% in the next, 3 years.
Hell yeah. That's amazing, yeah.
We'll come back to this interview when that happens.
I might. And then you go, I said it back then. This guy said it.
Claim to fame.
You heard it here first, yeah.
Appreciate the time, man.
Thanks,
bro.